Have you ever, found yourself juggling just a ton of different tasks, maybe even leading big initiatives at work, but felt like your efforts weren't quite getting the formal recognition they really deserved? Or maybe you're just starting out and you want a clearer path, to confidently manage projects. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Project Management Professional, or PMP, certification. And look, this isn't just another line on your resume. It's genuinely one of the most in-demand and respected certifications out there globally. Our mission here is pretty simple: give you a complete, really beginner-friendly guide to PMP. We're breaking it down into 5 clear, easy steps. We'll cover everything from, what it even is to how you actually apply, and crucially, prepare smartly. Our promise: no confusing jargon, just real talk and practical advice. So whether you're an experienced pro, someone just getting started with a bit of project exposure, or maybe even coming from a non-technical background, you'll walk away with total clarity. This is about validating your skills, yeah, but also supercharging your confidence and, let's be honest, boosting that salary potential too.
Yeah. And what's fascinating here is how PMP doesn't just like add a credential. It instantly gives you this layer of global credibility and a structured framework for the experience you might already have. It's recognized by the Project Management Institute PMI, which is, well, the leading global body for this stuff. The certification really helps people stand out because it's specifically designed to show you can manage those larger high-impact projects, the ones that drive real business value. It provides a proven framework, and that can truly unlock some major career growth.
I can definitely see why that framework would be so valuable. Okay, so let's jump right in. Step 1, what exactly is PMP and why should you, our listener, really care?
Right. So at its core, PMP stands for Project Management Professional. Pretty straightforward. It's the most globally recognized certification from PMI. Essentially, it tells employers anywhere in the world that you've got the proven knowledge, the experience, and the skills to lead projects effectively.
And not just small tasks, right? We're talking significant, maybe high-stakes initiatives.
Exactly. And this is where the why really clicks. A lot of people think, oh, I manage projects daily. Do I really need this piece of paper?
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
But PMP adds that formal structure to what might be just intuitive understanding right now. It's kind of like having a universal blueprint for successful project execution.
Okay.
The sources we looked at, they consistently point out that PMP certified folks often earn, 20 to 25% more than non-certified peers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a clear signal to employers. This person understands and can apply best practices. It opens doors. Think project manager, program manager roles.
Which is managing multiple projects.
Right, multiple related projects.
Yeah.
And even portfolio manager roles, where you're strategically overseeing a whole collection of programs and projects all aligned with business goals.
Wow. Okay. That salary bump alone is pretty compelling, really puts the value into perspective. So if that got your attention, step 2 is figuring out if you're eligible. And there's a common misconception here, right? That it's only for people with, decades of experience.
Totally wrong. Yeah, that's not true at all. There are basically 2 main paths, which makes it pretty accessible.
Okay, path 1.
Path 1. This is if you have a 4-year degree, bachelor's, whatever field. With that, you need 36 months. So 3 years of project management experience. And key point, it has to be non-overlapping experience. The months can't run at the same time across different projects you list.
Ah, okay. Good clarification. And there's an education part too.
Yep. On top of the experience, you need 35 hours of specific project management education or training.
Got it. And path 2.
Path 2 is for folks with a high school diploma or maybe an associate's degree. For them, the experience requirement is a bit longer, 60 months, so 5 years of that non-overlapping project experience. But the education part is the same. I still need those 35 hours of PM training.
Okay. And crucially, I think you mentioned this before, your job title doesn't have to scream project manager, right?
Absolutely not. That's so important. If you've been responsible for managing timelines or resources, deliverables, communicating with stakeholders,
Yeah.
basically getting stuff done by coordinating efforts, that can absolutely count. It's all about how you frame it in your application. You focus on your contributions to specific project goals.
That's such a relief for so many people, I bet. Really opens the door. Okay, so moving on to step 3. Once you know you're eligible, you need to get that mandatory 35-hour PM education course done. This isn't just like a nice to have, it's a hard requirement for the exam.
A prerequisite.
Exactly. You can find these courses all over the place online, Udemy, Coursera, Simply Learn, or through PMI's own authorized training partners. They come in different flavors too, right? Self-paced, live
Yeah,
classes.
lots of options to fit different schedules.
And they cover all the core PMP concepts, things like scope what the project will and won't do, cost managing the budget, time the schedule, risk anticipating problems, also procurement, stakeholder management, engaging with everyone involved.
Right. And they also cover agile approaches now, too, which is key. Flexible ways of working, like Scrum or Kanban, focusing on iteration and feedback.
So it's pretty comprehensive training.
It is. And what's also important is that this training, it's based on PMI's official guide, the Project Management Body of Knowledge, the PMBOK guide. That guide is basically the global standard for project management. But beyond just the content, this training does something else. It gets you mentally ready for the exam.
How so?
Well, it gives you an overview of how the exam works, the kinds of questions they ask. It really helps you start to think like a PMP certified professional. It's foundational for building that strategic problem-solving mindset.
Okay, makes sense. Building the foundation. So once that training is complete, you're ready for step 4. Applying for the PMP exam itself. This happens over at the PMI.org website. You create a free account, start the PMP application. You'll need to fill in 3 main bits: your education, your project experience. And this is where you briefly describe the projects, your role, your responsibilities, and finally, upload that 35-hour training certificate.
Yeah, and the sources we looked at really emphasize taking your time with that experience section. Focus on how you managed timelines, budgets, communication risk. They just want concrete examples of you handling real project stuff.
Right, showing the practical application.
Exactly. So after you submit, PMI usually takes about 5 business days, give or take, to review it. If it all checks out, you get that approval email, and then you're good to schedule your exam. You've got flexibility here, too. You can take it online, proctored from home, or go to a physical test center.
Okay. And the cost, always a big question.
Right. The exam fee is around $405 if you're a PMI member, or about $555 if you're not. Membership itself has a fee, but it often pays for itself with the exam discount and access to resources. Definitely worth looking into if you're serious.
Good tip. Okay, now for the main event, step 5, preparing smartly for the exam. And here's the good news, right? You don't need to lock yourself away for a year.
Definitely not. Most people who study consistently, say 8 to 12 weeks, they can pass pretty comfortably.
So how do you study smart?
Well, you should primarily focus on the PMBOK guide, specifically the 7th edition, and also the Agile Practice Guide.
Yeah.
Those are key. Then break your studying down into the 3 main areas or domains the exam covers.
Which are?
First, people. That's all about team management, leadership, communication, understanding team dynamics, collaboration. Second, process. This is the nuts and bolts. Planning, executing, managing risk, quality, procurement, the how-to. And finally, business environment. This is about governance, delivering value, compliance, understanding the bigger picture your project fits into.
Okay, people, process, business environment. Got it.
And beyond just reading, mock tests and sample questions are absolutely crucial. You have to get used to the exam pattern, the style of questions.
Practice makes it perfect, essentially.
Pretty much. And you don't need huge blocks of time either. Even dedicating, say, 1 to 2 hours consistently each day. That goes a long way. Joining study groups can help too. PMP forums on Reddit or LinkedIn. You get support, insights from others doing the same thing.
Yeah, community support is huge.
Definitely. And using apps or flashcards, maybe during your commute or short breaks. Great for revising concepts on the go. The real key isn't memorizing every single detail. It's understanding the core concepts and knowing how to apply them. How to use them in real project situations, like the ones they give you in the exam questions.
Apply, don't just memorize. Makes sense. So there you have it. Those are the 5 big steps to kick off your PMP journey. It might seem like a lot when you lay it all out at once, but honestly, once you take that first step, everything else tends to flow more naturally. The PMP is a powerful milestone in your career, and it's completely doable. With consistency, focus, and using the right resources like we've talked about, you absolutely can get there.
And this raises an important question. How can that structured strategic mindset you develop through PMP, focusing on managing timelines, budgets, communication, risk so clearly, how can that be applied beyond just formal work projects? Think about it. Any complex challenge or goal in your life. Could be personal, could be community-based. It's not just about getting the certification letters after your name. It's about developing this foundational approach to effective action. It can empower you to lead and drive value in really unexpected areas, far beyond what you might think of as a traditional project. It's a way of thinking, really.